let's go ahead and get started with our hybrid, actively strong, optimally mobile program. And so again, we're going to start seated just in front of the chair. And so we're going to do an active L sit, the seated torso rotation. So that's where we want to be able to sit really close to a piece of furniture, either the end of a chair. Well, I like to sit next to my wall. Usually a bed that sits up high is good. Then we're going to do lying hip rotations. We're going to do lying hip flexion. And then we're going to do face down, shoulder reach and depression. And then we're going to do our elbow extension. So we're going to move through these 6 movements. So first we'll start with this active L sit. And so this is where we want to challenge and find out, how do you feel when you sit in these positions? What's it like with your legs out straight? What is it like if you extend your spine? Where do things get tight? Where are your legs at? How wide are they? How narrow are they? What happens when you change that? What if you bring your legs together and we do these extensions from that position? And then go ahead and relax everything, this slouch position to this extended position. And then relax back down and extend back up. From here, we're going to lean back, opening up your hip space, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to slouch and then extend up. And we're trying to extend without lifting our shoulders. So we're trying to do it all through the spine. So we slouch and then we extend up. From here, what we're going to do is we're going to hold this extension. You can tell this is work. And now we're going to lift one leg at a time. The first time I'm going to point the toes today. A lot of times I'll do the toes pointed up at first. Again, scanning the body. Is this knee, quad staying nice and tight? Are you getting any cramping? And then relax everything. So if you get cramping, just relax immediately. Now we're going to relax everything, or in that slouch position, extend back up. Now I'm going to lift the same leg. This time I'm pulling the toes back up. So I'm actively dorsiflexing, scanning the body. Is my spine staying nice and extended? Thinking about sternum, xiphoid process up, and then relax everything. And we'll switch legs. So this time going with the toes pointed, extend up, point the toes and lift. Holding it nice and steady. How do these sides feel? How do they compare? Is your spine staying extended? Drop that leg, relax the spine. All right, this time toes pointed up. Extend, toes, lift up and hold. Again, can you keep your spine up? What's happening through your muscular system, through your joint system? Are you getting any sensation changes? And relax everything. So we'll go ahead and move to the wall for our seated rotation, or you can do it at the chair of an arm, couch, side of a bed frame. So we're going to do here, there we're leaning backward. Here we're going to sit up nice and tall. We're going to turn as far away from that block, seeing what is your full range of motion without resistance. And then we're going to move into it, blocking, holding this position for 10 seconds. That inside glute wants to roll up off the ground, keep it in contact. And then we're going to relax, rotate away as far as you can. Hold that for just a second or two. Come back into it, sitting up as tall as you can, almost like you're making a perfect L. Breathe into it. Hold the position, but not your breath. Final seconds. And relax. All right, we're going to spin around. So here what you're thinking about is the rib cage away from the wall is the one that's trying to turn into it, and the back muscles closest are trying to push into the wall harder. So we're sitting up nice and tall. We're going to turn away as far as you can. Sitting up tall. Slowly turn back, making contact. Again, that outside ribs are the ones contracting and get you closer to the wall, keeping that glute down. Slowly relax, rotate as far as you can, and then we're going to rotate right back into it. And relax, rotating away. All right, now we're going to move to lying on your back. We're going to keep both legs, feet flat. And what we're going to do is we're going to extend one leg out. We're going to bring that leg out to the edge of the mat. So if you're right in the middle of the towel or the mat, you bring that leg, foot out to the side. We let the knee and toes rotate out. From here, the side that you rotated out, that pelvis likes to rotate down. Keep your hips nice and level. We're going to lift that foot up and hold. And we're trying to lift this leg with the toes and knee pointed out. Inside of the knee going up to the ceiling. Try to keep this nice and level because this likes to rotate down. Holding it nice and steady just before your back wants to flatten. And then we're going to lower that leg. And here you're trying to brace your back, right? Because as you lift this one leg, you're pushing through the foot. We're going to lift that foot up once again. Taking it inside of the thigh, inside of the knee, going towards the ceiling. That pelvis likes to rotate down. Slowly relax. We're going to switch sides. We're going to take this leg out. We're going to let this foot out to the side of the mat. Toes and knee rotate out. Here we go. Lift that foot high to the sky. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Keeping that pelvis nice and steady. How does your back feel? You're feeling it through the front part of the hip and then lower that leg. You can rotate it back in and rotate it back out. And then we're going to lift up once again. Hold it nice and steady. What is the leg doing that is bent? Is it trying to flare out to the side to counterbalance? Can it stay in alignment with your hip? And lower. All right, so now both feet are flat. From here, what we're going to do is we're going to extend the leg that was just out and we were just lifting. We're going to extend it out straight. So the toes and knee are pointing out. The leg that we moved first, it's bent. We're going to bring that foot up off the floor and we're going to do our hip rotation. So we're going to take the foot across the body, almost like trying to bring the inside of the foot and knee towards this opposite shoulder. So right now I'm doing my right leg. I'm taking it to the left shoulder. Then I'm going to bring it back to neutral and take it to internal rotation, which is just foot out. And then we're going to bring it back all the way to the external and hold the external. Again, trying to get the inside foot up to this opposite shoulder. Feeling it nice and tight through that lower glute. Rotate all the way back, foot out, and then rotate to neutral, down. We're going to switch, sliding the other foot flat, bring the foot up off the floor. We're rotating the foot across, again, trying to get that foot towards this shoulder. So my left foot towards my right shoulder. Thinking about what's going on inside of the hip joint. Thinking about there's a little turn, a little rotation happening. We're going to bring it back to neutral. Take the foot out. And then we're going to sweep it all the way across to this hip external, which is the foot going across this other leg, towards this hip, towards this shoulder. Breathe into it. Reminding yourself, why do you want to get strong and relax? Where do you want strength to show up in your life? All right, so now we're going to go ahead and turn over face down. So if you have weak back, weak, tight shoulders, tight neck, that's where you want strength to show up. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a reach and a press. So we're just starting out here with the single arm little cactus position. Elbow 90, hand and palm are flat. You can lift your hand and elbow up, right? That's where you work for the backside of your shoulder. So we just lift up. From here, we're going to reach that hand up overhead so that inside of the arm comes to the ear. From there, we're going to reach the elbow down, keeping this hand high off the ground. And we're going to hold the elbow into our lower back side. This is the position we want to hold. We're trying to get that shoulder away from the ear. Then we sweep the hand up, out to the side, up overhead. Stretching the arm, fingertips up overhead, and then sweep that elbow, hand out wide, back into your side. Again, that hand wants to fall down, keep it externally rotated. Breathe into it, keeping your chin tucked, and then reach that hand up and out, and then relax. Okay, we're going to switch sides. Switch which hand is underneath your forehead. Hand and elbow are out to the side, flat. We lift our hand and elbow up. We reach up overhead. And then elbow and hand out wide. Squeezing it down into your side. Holding here for about a 10 count. As long as you don't get any cramping, trying to hold that hand up. Then we're going to take the hand and elbow out wide. Reach up overhead. And then back down. Breathe into it, breathe into it. And then reaching back up and out. All right, so now we're turning back over. So we're gonna roll back over. And so you might even experience that after just being face down. Like even there, as I rolled down, I started having like some of this like kind of unique sensation through my rib cage and everything just from having that compression forces on my stomach and rib cage. But it's good occasionally to get used to doing that. So here what we're gonna do is feet flat. This just helps stabilize your pelvis and allows us to focus more on your upper body. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna take your fingertips. Elbows are in at your side. We're gonna reach those hands to the ceiling. Keeping those elbows up, we're gonna let the hands fall back down, both hands at the same time, taking the thumbs to the shoulders if you can, with the elbows still pointing up to the ceiling. And where the elbows are pointing, now we're gonna bring the hands back up to where your fingers point up there. And then you're gonna bring them back down, keeping the elbows and shoulders wide if you need to, and then go back up. So what I mean by that is I kind of had my elbows in close here, and then I decided to kind of go out here a little bit more just to open up some of that shoulder space. So you have some options of keeping them in close to even elbows out wide. That doesn't really affect what your elbows are doing. It changes the sensation. We'll do a couple more. So we'll bring those hands down. Elbows are pointing up towards the ceiling. Think about it. Because those elbows kind of like to drop down here. It's like, can you keep those elbows pointing up to the ceiling? And now extend the fingers to the ceiling. Holding the fingertips towards the ceiling. And then bring those hands back down to the shoulders. Elbows are pointing directly up. And again, they kind of like to fade down. That's going to be our last hold. And relax. All right. Excellent job today.